Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yutpadkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are on chapter 18 and this is a continuation of all the modes of nature, Bhagwan has mentioned, let me just revise one more time. Arjuna has asked, what is sannyasa? Renunciation. And what is sannyasa means the renounced order. And what is tyaga? It started from there. And Bhagwan said, what is the situation? Let me just take the shloka. I don't want to make a mistake. Okay. I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation and the renounced order of life. So Bhagwan said, the renounced order of life means you leave all your materialistic endeavors and you live totally on God. What is tyaga? Tyaga or renunciation means you are living in the material world, you are performing all actions, but the results of that action, you are giving it up to God. So this is how you, so he has given two differences. And then he went on explaining that certain activities need to be done for sure. And what were those activities? He said, Yagya dana tapah karma na tyajyam karyamevat tat. One should not leave these things. They should always perform these things. What are the things? Yagya. Yagya means sacrifice. For our time, the biggest yagya is chanting Bhagwan's name. Chant Bhagwan's name all the time. The times when you forget to chant Bhagwan's name, make it a habit to surrender all your activities to God. Put a reminder in your phone every 1 hour. Let the reminder remind you. Surrender everything to God. And remember. So but by this, you can train your mind to remember Him under all circumstances. We are going out, we are meeting people, we are in a party. It will be very difficult to remember at that time Bhagwan. Because you're talking to people and you're enjoying, so you're very difficult. But if you have your phone and the reminder is there, and the reminder just gently reminds you, it's time to remember God. And it's time to surrender everything that you did today by your mind, action, and speech. That's it. 5 minutes you take out in that busy schedule, surrender to God. That's how you make it very practical. Okay? So Bhagwan says, do yagya, do dan. Dan means charity. Charity is also 3 types: mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Mode of goodness is you gave because you wanted to give, because it is good. Mode of passion is you have given, but then you are expecting something out of that. And another thing is you gave it angrily, you didn't want to give, but still you gave. After giving, you are thinking, why did I even give? So those are mode of passion. Mode of ignorance is giving to people, and then they go and take drugs. No, that kind of charity is not allowed. So do good charity. Okay. Yagya, dana, tapaha, and tapasya means You have to do, tapasya is training yourself for spiritual growth, for growing spiritually. There are so many rules and regulations to be followed. You must do that. Yajna, dana, tapa, karma, and your prescribed duties you have to do. You should not run away from your duties. And all these are also of three types: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Like karma. When you're doing for God, good karma, mode of goodness. When you are people doing, karma for money and all, that is in rajogun, that is mode of passion. When you are doing karma for wrong things, mode of killing and all those things, killing, cheating, stealing, all this kind of karma, this come into mode of ignorance. So Bhagwan has said all this thing is in different things. And then he said that there are 5 causes, which are the 5 factors of action. And what are these? The place of action, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action. And whatever right or wrong action man performs by mind, body, and speech is caused by these 5 factors. So place of action, very important. The performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action. Therefore, one who thinks himself that he is alone the doer, not considering this, is not very intelligent and is not able to see things as they are. Then Bhagwan went on: knowledge, object of knowledge, and knower. These are the 3 factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the 3 constituents of action. According to 3 different modes of material nature, there are 3 kinds of knowledge: action and performer of action. The knowledge by which you see God in everything and everywhere, in every place, in everything. Maybe you are in a very bad place, but there also you are able to see God. Going to say, I always, I once went to Vegas. Vegas is a very, tamoguni place. Tamoguni means in mode of ignorance, drugs and drinks and sex and everything, you know about Vegas. But for a person like me and my father and my mother had been there. It's very close to our place, so we go there quite often. Used to, whoever comes from India, we take them there. They want to see because it's, people talk about it, so people want to see. So I've been there so many times. So I took my father first time, only one time, my father, mother, and me. So my father, so there is all casinos everywhere. So we took him to one casino and we're like, okay, you want to play the slots? You just put money and then something will come, something will spill and you'll get something. And the crowds in the hotels are like full, like people are like blowing off their retirement money here. People enjoy life. So my father went. My father, he had something, he's like, okay, if I press some slot, I should win. So he has some tricks that he does. Okay, so he will look at his what we call nostrils. So it is called Svar Vigyan. So he knows some Svar Vigyan. Okay, only this side of nostril will go. Then whatever activities you take, you're going to get success in that. We stayed there in Vegas for 3 hours. 3 hours. My father is trying to see if the right nostril will work so that he can put the slot. And for 3 hours, he could not. His nostril didn't work at all rightly. Only the opposite nostril was going. He's like, forget it. This is not meant for me. I cannot even do. So my father didn't play even one bet he didn't do. Then my mother, she doesn't care all this. She's like, okay, let me play. So first she put some money And then suddenly, in those days, nowadays, the slot machines don't give you noise. Earlier, in those days, when the money used to come, it will make noise, like so much money is coming down. So the noise is very attractive to the ears. So my mother put one, and then she won something. Then she was like very happy. Oh, I won something. Then she puts another. Again, she won something. So she went on to different slot machines and she won. And then, once you win, you want to win more. This is the trap. The sound of the money falling down, you winning, Then in the end, she went on crazy. She's like, okay, let me play it. Your father is anyway not going to play it. Let me play it. I'm like, okay, you play it. So me and my father, we are just enjoying. So she went on putting. In the end, she lost everything. Then she got upset. She's like, oh, she calls, this is not Las Vegas. This is loss and bogus. This is loss bogus. So then every time she would come, I'll be like, Mom, you want to go and spend some money? She's like, no, I don't want to go to Las Bogus. That's a Las Bogus place. So anyways, I remembered that incident. Me and my father is not able to play. He could not play even one. He did not even touch one thing. Even in that place, which is so much tamoguni or rajoguni, as we say. Then afterwards, we started walking and then we came to Caesar's Palace, and then Caesar's Palace Hotel is a very big hotel. And in front of that Caesar's Palace Hotel is a Buddha temple. I went there. I sat down. I prayed for some time, meditated, while my parents were going here and there and just seeing everything. Even in that place, which is so tamoguni, there is a corner where there is some mode of goodness, which is maintaining the balance of the place. So when Bhagwan says these are the 5 things, yes, these are the 5 factors. The place is also a factor. I went to Dharmshala in India. The name is so good, Dharmshala. Place of dharma. That means Dharmshala means place of dharma. I don't know from where the name came, but many of the Buddhist Tibetan refugees, Dalai Lama's main center is in Dharmshala. So he lives there, his residence is there. So that place, I went, I am seeing all Buddhist people, Dharmshala, Dalai Lama, very beautiful place. And we went on a New Year's Eve, and I'm seeing so many people in drugs. That place, I think, McLeodganj, it's famous for this drugs. So the same place, which is so nice, spiritual in nature, generally, mountains, they are spiritual in nature. By nature, they are spiritual. But people go there, performer of action. They go there. They do all these actions, which is fully in mode of ignorance. So when Bhagwan says these 5 things are the reason why this is happening, this is the reason. So what is knowledge? True knowledge, Bhagwan says, in true knowledge, you are seeing God in everything. I go to Vegas. I see such beautiful buildings. I see everything. And then I have to train my mind. Yes, this is a place of mode of ignorance. But Bhagwan in Gita says, and I tell you, this thing just rings in my head. Bhagwan in Gita says, whatever magnificent you see, it is just a spark of my splendor. I'm like, okay, all the buildings, tall buildings, nice buildings, richness, beauty, spark of just Bhagwan's splendor. Even staying in Vegas, my mind is with God. I went to Disneyland first time. Disneyland is amazing, Florida. I mean, it's beyond, for people who come from India, and we haven't seen such things. Amazing. Like it's a whole new world inside Disneyland. So I saw Disneyland. One of the shows I saw, it looks so real life. So real life. Every experience there feels like so real. When it is just created, man-made. I came out, I'm telling you, throughout, I was crying in Disneyland. And my husband is like, people are enjoying, why are you crying? Because I was feeling Bhagwan everywhere so strongly in Disneyland. I can never forget that experience. Everybody's enjoying the roller coasters and everything. For them, it's a movie. But for me, that moment, it was like, oh, this world is God's movie. This is just like Disneyland. This world is God's Disneyland. And Walt Disney got this inspiration. And Bhagwan says, that is just a spark of my splendor. This is Bhagwan's inspiration. He gave him such a inspiration to create such a magnificent thing and to create such a illusory thing. Those who have seen Disneyland will know. You enter there, you will feel it's a different world. And he has made it the happiest place in the world, and which is true. You go there, you forget. He has made, the Disney people have made rides, the characters, the lights, the show, everything is so real. We went on one ride. It was called California Soarin'. So you sit in it's a ride, takes you up, high up. It's dark room. And that ride goes, and then they're showing a movie, which is right below your feet. I don't know how they create it. And this ride goes on top of that, and they show you the entire California. And wherever they take you in California, like you're sitting up, like you're getting an aerial view of California. So the ride starts like you're getting an aerial view of California, and the movie is going on. It's called Soarin'. And then you see you are going from Disneyland, and then you're going to other places. So they show you Central California, and Central California is full of farms. And when they take you to Central California, full of farms, this is just a movie, okay? And you are on the ride. You suddenly hear smell of trees. They're plucking, you see in the movie, they're plucking oranges, and you get the smell of oranges. Then you go somewhere, they take you over the mountains, you feel that chillness, that warmth. They take you over oceans, because California has oceans. When they come to Southern California, it is Pacific Ocean. They took you over Pacific Ocean. You feel that. And then they bring you back to Disneyland. That whole illusion that they create is so, with the smell, with the feel, that, and as if you're going on a flight, an open flight. The way they create it. He created in Orlando, they created a tropical area. They'll create it so real. After coming like 5 days, in Orlando, even you go to Universal Studios, the way they create the rides, unbelievable. And when you come out of there, you feel like, wow. But for me, it was like, wow, this is Bhagwan's world is just like this, just like the illusion that Walt Disney has created. It looks so real. Same way, Bhagwan's world looks so real. So real. All the smell, all the things look so real. And what Bhagwan says is unreal. It's really unreal. It's all light and sound and illusion. You see it in Disneyland, light and sound and illusion. Or Universal Studios. Nowadays, you have it everywhere. You have it. I think in Disneyland is in Europe also, probably Singapore also, in Hong Kong also. You should go if you can go. Definitely you must. Amazing, amazing. So many acres of land they created. This kind of illusory world. They have a Harry Potter ride. Unbelievable. You really feel you're in witches and goblins and everything. In Disneyland, they have a ride. The train goes through some horror, haunted bungalow, haunted mansion. It's called Haunted Mansion. The train is going and you actually see there are pictures which are moving. The illusion, the ghosts are moving. Everything is so real, so real. You feel like you are in the real world. You will get that eerie feeling, that's a scary feeling. It's not like a 3D movie also. It is beyond 3D movie. It is 3D movie plus real people acting. They made a show called Aladdin. Oh my God. The Aladdin goes in carpet. Aladdin has a carpet, flying carpet. So you're sitting in the audience is like it's an opera room and everybody's sitting. And actually Aladdin comes in a carpet right over your thing. How the Disney's creative team or Orlando Universal Studios creative team creates this. Anyways, so people go and see all this and I am in my head, God, this world is your Disneyland. God, this world is your Disneyland. And I am in tears. Every show I am seeing, I'm like, God, I know why you got me here. I'm not getting carried away by that, because everything that I see is just a spark of his splendor. Just a spark of his splendor. You see God's presence in everything. In everything. So Bhagwan says, that kind of knowledge, where you see me in everything, that knowledge is in mode of goodness. In Vegas, I see Bhagwan. In Disney, I see Bhagwan. In Rishikesh, I see Bhagwan. In Dharmshala, I see Bhagwan. These are the places where somebody else will see drugs, somebody else will see sex, somebody else will see some enjoyment, some thrill. That is mode of Rajogun and Tamagun. How you train your eyes to see the world. That is important. Gita, when you are sincerely reading Gita, this is how your eyes become. Before reading the Gita, before understanding these concepts, I would be judgmental. Las Vegas, bad place. I'll say that. Sin City, bad place. But now it is not bad place or good place. It is tamoguni, in mode of ignorance. And in that bad place also, there are people in mode of goodness. So in bad things, also good things are there. In good things, bad things are there. This world is only a play of these three gunas. The vision becomes so clear now. The vision becomes so clear. If somebody is in a profession which we don't like, well, it is a situation. 5 factors working on that. A person who sees rightly will see these 5 factors and not be judgmental. Okay. So Bhagwan now says, so knowledge is of 3 types. And those 3 types of knowledge is, Bhagwan said, in mode of goodness, where you see everything, it has Bhagwan in it, and everything is spiritual in nature. Understand? Everything in this world is spiritual in nature. Everything. And spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, and though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand to be in mode of goodness. And that knowledge by which one sees that in every different body there is a type of living entity, you should understand to be in the mode of passion. Ramkrishna paramhans was so devoted to Mother Kali. He would see Mother Kali in every lady. He got married, the first night he started worshipping his wife. He never had any relation with her physically, because to him, his wife is the embodiment of Mother Kali. He's seeing Ma. And how can you have physical relation with a Ma? People thought he's just, acting, he's just showing off as if he's spiritual. So in those days, even in these days, very easy to divert somebody's mind by putting a honey trap. So they send a prostitute to Ramkrishna. The prostitute comes, the way she stood in front of Ramkrishna. Ramkrishna was immediately reminded of Krishna and Kali, and he started worshipping the prostitute. The prostitute got shattered. Nobody did this ever to her. Nobody. The look of, when a man looks lustily, or when a man looks in a friendly gesture, or when a man looks in a daughterly gesture, when a man looks in a neutral gesture, the women can sense it. So this prostitute, she had never seen a man who is looking at her with no lust in the eyes. The prostitute was shaken, taken aback, and he started worshipping her as mother. The whole world will call her a prostitute, a dirty lady with a dirty profession. But what is Ramkrishna Paraman seeing her as? His eyes are clear. Ma. He's in mode of goodness, beyond mode of goodness. Divine eyes, divine nature. But everybody else will judge her. Jesus Christ, he showed this in his behavior. So that is a story you have heard. One lady, all the villagers were throwing stones at her. And Jesus Christ came to that village, and this lady went and just held Jesus' feet. And he stopped everybody. Why are you throwing stones at her? So all those people started saying she's a sinner. Why is she a sinner? She was with some lusty man, probably. The man goes away. He's never a sinner. The lady is a sinner. So people are throwing stones at her sinner because she's a sinner. Jesus Christ said one thing. Okay, she's a sinner. You want to punish. The first stone that person should throw who has never committed a sin. So if you want to punish a sinner and you want to throw a stone, no worries, we'll punish. But first, that person who has not committed a sin should come ahead and throw the stone. Eyes were down. There's nobody in the world who has not committed sin, knowingly, unknowingly, somewhere. Jesus Christ did that. So when you are on this path, you may be seeing wrong things somewhere. But what are the wrong things? Why are these caused? These are the 5 factors which Bhagwan mentioned in the Gita. And why a person has done something wrong. Why did he commit this? Those 5 factors and his own nature. If the nature is changed, that person will become pure. He is spiritual. Everybody is spiritual in nature. Everyone. So, if you have that differentiation in your eyes, oh, this is a devotee, this is not a non-devotee, sinner, non-sinner. If you have all those distinctions, then Bhagwan says that knowledge by which one sees that in every different body, there is a different type of living entity, you should understand to be in the mode of passion. And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as all in all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness. Bhagwan went on saying, so performer also is of 3 types. The knowledge or the work is also of 3 types. Duty is of 3 types, and your determination is of 3 types. He went on saying that. Then he said, I have made 4 divisions of the society: Brahman, Kshatriya, labor class, and the mercantile class. He spoke about all that. And then he told us last time that whatever is our nature, based on our nature, we must take up that work. We will be happy in that work. Instead of taking up some work which we think, oh, the other is successful, so I must do that work because the other person is successful, he is making so much money. If we are in the mode of passion, we will make money as everything, and then we get into professions which is not suitable to our nature, and then we are never happy. We may get money, but that real happiness, the joy that comes, is not there. The satisfaction is not there. So Bhagwan in Gita has also advised us to do that. It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reaction. And then Bhagwan says, 48th Shloka, Sahajam karma kaunteya sadosham api na tyajet sarvarambha hi doshena dhumren agnir avrita. He says, even every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature. O son of Kunti, even if such a work is full of fault. Sometimes, like somebody, very good in finance. Me and Namashya, we go on trips. I am so bad at, Namashya knew me first time. She saw how bad I am in calculating. I can't. I still can't. Give me money and I'll be like, I just don't know. I don't know what happens. My brain just freezes. I can't. So, counting department, Namashya, you handle it. Because Namaja is very good in finance. She is a CA, CPA. CA as per India, CPA as per here. So she can do it very easily. And I can only do my work very easily. So if I start competing with Namaja, I will do it. I also can count. I also have brains. I know I will not be doing that work properly. I can do what I can do. I can guide. I know my scriptures. I can do this work. So let me do this work. Maybe I may not be very perfect in this work, but still this matches with my nature. So I'll be still much better than taking up that money matters. I will be imperfect. I cannot. That is not my nature. So like, somebody is very good in finance. Naturally. So some people who are good in finance, they may only be just a clerk in the office. They may not be earning money, but some person will go all the way up to CFO, Chief Financial Officer. They can plan the whole thing. Some people with the finance department will be just a treasurer. But if it is their nature, whether they are a clerk, whether they are a treasurer, whether they are a CFO, they understand finance. So they are all good in their own way. We cannot say, the treasurer is better than the clerk. No, he is doing as per his nature. He is good in that. And we cannot say the CFO is better than the treasurer. No. The work which a treasurer or a clerk can do, the CFO cannot do. And what a CFO can do, a treasurer or a clerk cannot do. But they are all handling the finance department. The entire department is held by different people. And then there are investors who come and give money. They cannot plan like the CFO. They will only expect all these people to do. So same finance department, one department, but different people with different aptitude. If they do what they are doing as per their aptitude, they will be very satisfied, very happy. But being a clerk and always thinking, I should be a CFO, but you don't have the aptitude, then you will be very unhappy. So Bhagwan has told that every endeavor might have some fault, but if it is your nature, you will enjoy it. Okay. O son of Kunti, one should not give up the work born of his nature. One who is self-controlled and unattached and who disregards all material enjoyments can obtain, by practice of renunciation, the highest perfect stage of freedom from reaction. Siddhim prapto tatha brahma tatha apnoti nibodh me samasena eva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. O son of Kunti, now learn from me. One who has achieved this perfection can attain to the supreme perfectional stage, Brahman, the stage of highest knowledge, by acting in the way I now summarize. So now he is summarizing what is the highest stage. All of you are very learned. All of you are very intelligent. Please mark these shlokas. You want to grow in spiritual path. You might see some, when you are practicing, you might get some experiences, bodily experiences, see some light or hear some sounds. I will again tell you, those are all very kiddish experiences, very bachpana. Those are given to you to encourage you to be on the path. But they are not all in all. The highest stage is what 51 to 54 shloka Bhagwan is now summarizing. He has spoken it in every chapter. Again, he is summarizing. If you develop yourself, you yourself are your judge. You are going to check mark. Wherever you fail, you are going to improve. Nobody else can. You don't have to show to the world what you are. It is between you and Bhagwan. You are the one giving the exam and you are the examiner. Bhagwan has given you goals. So all those experiences, those kiddish experiences you have, great. But have you developed these qualities? That stage, that final stage, Bhagwan calls it as Bramhbhoot. Bramhbhoot stage. Word is Bramhbhoot. The one who is in the highest spiritual stage. Okay, how he is. Bhagwan starts from 51 Shloka. Buddhyā viśuddhayā yuktō dhṛtyātmānaṃ niyamya ca śabdādīnviṣayāṃstyaktvā rāgadvēṣau vidusya ca viviktasevi lagvāshi yadvākāya mānasah dhyāna yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupasitah ahankara balam darpam कामक्रोधम परिग्रहम विमुच्य निर्ममा शांतो ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते. Being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred. One who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his mind, body, and power of speech, who is always in trance, who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride. False ego also means people want to be known as a great devotee. That also is a false ego, I'm telling you. People start chanting the mala, start wearing they'll change their dress, their tilak, their kanthi, everything they'll do. Externally, everything is being done. And they always want to be known as a great devotee. But that also is a false ego. Whoever you are, you are. That's it. You are Bhagwan's child, that's all. So here, who is detached from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful. Such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. Certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. So these qualities, make a list. If you fail, no problem. Try again. Try again. These are all qualities that come when you are in the mode of goodness. Till now you were not knowing. Till now, Gita, God is very kind on you, very pleased on you, and that's why he has made you sit and listen Gita. Some punya karma. Till now, whatever books you had read, you have heard about siddhis, mastery, and those are all only magic show. There are magicians who are very masters in whatever they do. So you thought siddhi means being a magician. Or then there are other kind of people who will write, oh, they saw this, they saw that. They're not performing any miracles externally, but then they saw this, they saw that, light and sound show. And they will create a picture. And then you thought siddhi means that. But in real life, those who have seen this God or whose chakras have been awakened, or those who have seen, how are they in real life? That is what matters. People get deluded by so-called godmen who, who know how to behave. People get deluded. Then they fall in wrong hands. And then they are exploited. And then they're I have seen people, disciples getting so badly mentally exploited. They play with the minds. And to play with the mind, the biggest thing they will do is instill fear in you. And the biggest fear they will instill in you is Guru Droh. If you leave your Guru, this will happen, that will happen. If you leave me, this will happen, that will happen to you. Guru Droh. And then with that fear, this so-called godman will play. It is very difficult to come out of that fear. I mean, I have seen. When you read Gita, Bhagwan always gives you the confidence. Always. Somebody who always instills fear in you is not right. They're playing with your mind. They want you to be loyal only to them. Humans. And then I have seen disciples, they will give they'll make gods out of these humans, when their character is totally not like that. So you are being played and you don't realize. And then they instill the fear. But when you but real saints I have met, they don't instill that. They don't instill the fear. Because the real saints say, no, who am I? The doer is Bhagwan. Bhagwan is doing it. And when you approach such saints, they will only connect you to Bhagwan. Saints will only connect you to Bhagwan. They will not get connected to me. They will not. They're impossible. We get connected to them out of love. Love is a different thing. But they will not make you fearful. They'll make you fearless. The one who is with God is fearless. And you hear Premananji's lecture, he will always make you fearless. My father, he used to make people fearless. Because you are with God, then you are fearless. People playing with the minds of devotees, that is wrong. So that is one of the tactics they'll follow. Oh, now don't go here and there, only follow me. If you don't follow me, then you will be in doom. This is called Guru Dro, and this Dro, and the big words they'll say. Cheater gurus with bad character I've seen. And their followers so strongly defending. Oh, that's how Guru is. I came to know about one, when I was young. So this Guru, he had many followers and they have their own lobbies. So you can't even, you have to be it's like a Gundaraj. Though they all appear saintly, but it's Gundaraj there. So I came to know about some things, and then I asked one of the followers, I'm like, why are you supporting this Guru? You guys are seeing what he's doing. He's showing to the world, he's a brahmachari, he's not married. The world thinks he's a brahmachari, but then he has relation with so many ladies. And all your shishyas know. And then you try to cover him up. When I was young, I started speaking. I used to speak. So one of the ladies, she took me aside. She's like, Mataji, don't speak anything. You have no idea. If people hear all this that you are going against, your life will be a mess. So they gave me what you call dhamki, or threatening me. I'm like, okay, your gurus, you don't know. You know, whatever you want to do, you can do with your gurus. I don't least care. And then there was another person who came. Mataji, you are right. But so what, Mataji? If our gurus fall, we will pray for our gurus, no? Like, what kind of brainwashing is this? The guru is supposed to deliver you. Now the guru is falling in front of your eyes, and then you guys are like, we will deliver him. What kind of relationship has become? And they're like, Mataji, don't speak like that. Guru is the representative of God. I'm like, I agree. But I know your guru is fallen down. He's going to fall in the well, and he's going to pull all of you also. Don't get so carried away by this guru mania. Open the Gita. Open the Gita. And if a guru starts threatening you, man, just leave him. Leave him. Not necessarily you should be with such a guru who threatens you, who does not allow you to expand, who does not allow you to bloom, who does not allow you to question, who shuts your voice. No, don't do that. There is no such thing. There will not be any harm. There will not be any harm to you. Bhagwan has given that promise to us. Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshasyami ma suchah. If your heart is not accepting, don't try to cover the truth. Leave that, no problem. Krishna Mande Jagat Guru. Come to this Guru, Bhagwan Shri Krishna, and his Vani. He has given. He has given everything. You won't need anyone. Develop these qualities in you. That's all is important. Develop this quality in you. Become his. If some gurus, if they help you grow like this, then you continue with them. The guru may sometimes get angry at you. The guru may sometimes tell something else. But that anger is will not be a threat. But that anger is for you to come back to senses. Come back to, to God. But even if that does not happen, that guru will leave you. Okay, no problem, go wherever you want to go. Because finally it's God's world. So here, when we open Gita, the beauty of Gita is that Bhagwan has given us everything that we need to grow spiritually. We don't have to get into this behind the charlatans, behind this so-called godmen. We don't have to. Bhagwan has given us everything. The only problem was you never opened the Gita. What is Siddhi? What is not Siddhi? Your qualities define your Siddhis. And these qualities you have. So this is important. Okay. All right. Brahmabhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim salabate param. This 54th slok is the highest stage that you should be aiming for. You're looking for Siddhi. This is what you're aiming for. You're looking for miracles. The change in you, that is the biggest miracle. Light and sound show, if you want to see, come to Disneyland. At least I'm happy Walt Disney was what Walt Disney was. He can very easily he can say I'm God. And I'm telling you, Walt Disney will be better than all the so-called godmen, cheater godmen of India. That world that is created, no less than a god. But he is what he is. He's a businessman. He created as business. Be that. That is not Siddhis. His Siddhis was in his business. But here, what Siddhi Bhagwan talks of? Brahmabhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti labate param. In one line, he has summed it up. One who is transcendentally situated, at once realizes the Supreme Brahman, and he becomes fully joyful, always happy. He never laments, nor desires, na shochati, na kankshati. He never desires nor laments to have anything, and more than that, sama sarveshu bhuteshu, he is equally disposed towards every living entity. And Bhagwan says, if somebody has developed these qualities, mad bhakti labate param. He, in that state, he attains the pure devotional service to me. Now Bhagwan comes to 55 shloka, very important shlokas. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanas chasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato gyatva viśuddhayā tadanantaram. Bhagwan says one stage is, you know the Supreme Brahma, you are happy, you're not lamenting for anything, you're not desiring another thing. And you're seeing the same Atma, the same Brahma in every living being and everywhere. And how can you understand me? Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only by devotional service. Sloka number 55. One can understand me as I am, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. We have discussed this. Always thinking of him, in his consciousness, we can go to the kingdom of God. Sarva karmanyapi sada kurvano madhyapyashraya mat prasadat avapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. Again, he emphasizes on bhakti. He says, though engaged in all kind of activities, my pure devotee under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. Mad ashraya, mad vyapashraya. And how is that person? Who is a sannyasi? Bhagwan says, sannyasi, you don't have to leave the world. You can be in your own world. But live for God. Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasit matparah buddhiyogam upashritya matchitta satatam bhava. Bhagwan says, Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparah. Under all circumstances, put your consciousness onto me. Whatever work you're doing, let your consciousness be with me. You're working for me. In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Matchita sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi atha chetvam ahankaran shrosyasi vinakshasi. Now Bhagwan is telling, if you become conscious of me, this is Krishna consciousness. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Very clearly he has said, hear me. Hear. I have told everything to you in the Bhagavad Gita. Just hear. If you are in my consciousness, you will cross over all obstacles. I'm there. I'm telling you, I'm promising you. Just hear me. Be in my consciousness. Otherwise, you will be lost. If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed, because by your nature, you will have to be engaged in the warfare. He is now telling Arjuna, I know you're asking me all these questions on Jnana Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, Karma Yoga. These are talks which knowledgeable people sit in satsangas and do. You have asked me finally, what is sannyasa, what is tyag? I have told you everything. Renunciation, renouncing of work, I told you everything. But let me again tell you, do not tell your mind that, oh, now I will become a sadhu. Because your nature is not a sadhu nature right now. You are not born in that family. You are born in a warrior family. Your nature is to do war, to protect those who are under you. If you run away, you will never be at peace thinking, oh, I will become a Brahmana nature now. I will go and meditate. I don't want to fight. Let me tell you, Arjun, you will not be peaceful. That guilty consciousness will not leave you. And forget about the guilty consciousness. Throughout life, people will say, oh, he ran away from the battlefield. He was supposed to protect all of us and he ran away. You want to live with that? And you think you'll be liberated? You will not be liberated by this. Do your action. You are a king. You come from the kingly family. Your duty is to protect the ladies, you don't want another Draupadi anymore. You can't give this kingdom to this unruly people. Do not think, oh, this is sannyasa, means running away from my duties. You cannot run away. Arjun, this is not your nature. Behave as per your nature. In this nature, there may be a fault. Probably you may lose the battle. Possible. But even if you lose the battle, Bhagwan has told him elsewhere, you will go to Swarga, heavenly planet. And if you win the battle, you will enjoy Swarga, heaven here itself. So behave as per your nature. Don't try to behave a Brahmana right now. Oh, I will leave everything and go. Because at this moment, there is an emergency. You need to protect. You need to fight. This is my advice to you. I've given you all logic, all answers, whatever you wanted. You started saying, oh, by killing my own people, I will be in sin. No, this is not the fight of your own people. This is attachment. This is the fight between religion and irreligion. When you say my own people, then what about the rest? They are not your own people. The kingdom is also your own people. Well, how are you distinguishing between own people? And who is going to die, Arjun? Who is going to die? The body is dying. You cannot allow these unruly bodies to rule. Only sin will prevail in more bigger scale. Do you want that sin to prevail in the larger scale so that you don't be a sinner? I have given you all. Work for me. I have shown you everything. And then he goes, Bhagwan says, under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction, but compelled by the work born of your own nature. You will act all the same, O son of Kunti. And then he says, Ishvara sarva bhutanam riddeshe Arjuna tishtati brahmyan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. O Arjun, the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, you who are seated on a machine made of material energy. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsasi shashvatam. Bhagwan says, Arjun, I have spoken to you externally so much. And now I'm going to remind you one more thing. There is a thing called Ishwar. That Ishwar lives in everybody's heart. Ishvara sarva bhutani riddeshu Arjuna tishtati. Ishwar lives in everybody's heart. Everybody is deluded because of Maya. This body is an instrument of Maya. So Ishwar is living in your heart, but you are being directed by this body, by this mind, this consciousness, which is Maya right now. So I have explained to you externally whatever it is. Now listen to your heart and do what your heart tells you to do. Sometimes when we are arguing things, we are only doing it externally. Our heart is saying something else. And Bhagwan knew Arjun's heart will not allow him to run. Impossible. Bhagwan now is pointing that listen to your heart, listen to your inner voice. Listen to that. I have told you so many things externally. Now listen to your inner voice, because if you don't believe I am God, if you believe what a Veda says, that God is inside the heart, then listen to that God inside the heart. Listen to your inner voice. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata. O skin of Bharata, surrender to that internal God utterly. And by His grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. So sometimes, when we have to make decisions, I always say, always listen to your internal voice. The internal voice is so clear. There will not be a doubt. And it may take you some guts to follow your internal voice. But if you follow that, you'll be so powerful. You feel so peaceful. So always follow your internal voice. Now Bhagwan has told, I have spoken to you. Hear your internal voice. What is your heart saying? And then Bhagwan finally says, Iti me jnanam akyatam guyad guyataram maya vimrishyate tadesheshena yathechesi tatha kuru. Bhagwan says, I have told you everything. Externally, standing in front of you, as your friend, as Bhagwan, as whatever, Brahma, Paramatma, whatever you have asked, I've told you. Now I'm telling you, listen to your heart. I have explained you all the knowledge which is confidential. Deliberate on this fully. Contemplate, deliberate. And then, yathechesi tatha kuru. Then do what you wish to do. So sometimes we get so much knowledge. Arjuna is going to fight. So much of things has been given to him in the past 1 hour and to us for the past how many months. Bhagwan is saying deliberate and do what you decide to do. And Bhagwan again gives him that confidence, that love, that special love, that friendly touch. And he says, Arjun, sarvaguhyatamam bhuya shunu me paramam vacha ishtosi me dridhamiti tato vakshyami te hitam. O Arjun, you are my dear friend. Ishtosi me. You are my very dear friend, and I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me. It is for your benefit. Again he says, the gist of Gita is this shloka, I would say always. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vashyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Again he used the word priyosi. I love that word priyosi. Wherever he says, ishtosi, you are my dear friend. Bhaktosi, you are my devotee, you are my bhag. Priyosi, you are my dear friend. I just underline that. I just love that word. I tell you, Bhagavad Gita to me, even though it looks like knowledge, to me it's like Bhagwan's love letter for all his beloved people. Everybody. You can read him in any ways, the way you want to read him. I read all these sentences. They stir some emotion in me. When he says, Priyosi me. I always say, when he says, Priyosi me, oh God, you have made me yours. Till now, I had forgotten. I always said God, 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 but I had forgotten that I'm yours. But in these words, I remember. Bhagwan says, always think of me. Yes, Bhagwan, definitely. Become my devotee. Yes, my Lord, I will. I am. Worship me. Sure, Bhagwan. Offer your homage to me. Yes, Bhagwan, 100%. Thus you will come to me. God, I'm so excited to see you. Thus you will come to me without fail. This is Bhagwan's pratigya. He says, Pratijane, this is my pledge. This is my vow. This is my oath. This is my promise to you. Bhagwan's promise. Why is he promising us? Priyosime, you are my dear man. You see, that's why. I like you so much. Bhagwan says, I like you so much. That's why I'm promising you. You're my dear friend. And promises are never to be broken. And friends, when they make promises, they never break. So our friendship is pakka. Strong friendship. Bhagwan has promised. And we also give him the same promise. Bhagwan says, you will come to me without fail. But do this and this and this things. We also promise. Yes, Bhagwan. We will do it. What does Bhagwan ask us to do? Always think of me. Yes, Bhagwan. Number 1. Become my devotee. Yes, Bhagwan. Worship me. Yes, Bhagwan. Offer your homage unto me. Yes, Bhagwan. Okay, we have sealed the friendship now. Thus, you will come to me without fail. And I promise you this, because you are my very dear friend. Ye dosti hum nahi todenge, todenge dam magar tera saath na chodenge. All right. Bhagwan now says one more thing. Do not fear. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshasyami ma sucha. Bhagwan says, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Wow. Do not fear. No sinful reactions. I am on God's path. Who is the strongest person on this world? He. My sins are not strong. Understand this. No matter how many sins you do, if you have become the friend of God, He will make sure that all sinful reactions are gone. Bhagwan, in this, okay, time is almost up and we still have some more shlokas. The process of, I'll just read this and we'll end it up. The process of surrender of Krishna is described in the Hari Bhakti Vilaas. Anukulasya sankalpaha pratikulasya varjanam rakshasiti vishwaso goptritve varnam tatha atmanikshepakarpanye shadvitha sharanagatihi. This shloka says 6 types of surrender, which we will discuss more tomorrow. Okay, because time I just saw now. And there is some more beautiful shlokas that are going to come, and I want to take time to explain them because I see Bhagwan's love everywhere and that love has to flow. Okay, so according to the devotional service, one should simply accept such religious principles that will ultimately lead to devotional service of the Lord. One may perform a particular occupational duty according to his position in the social order, but if by executing his duty, one does not come to the point of Krishna consciousness, all his activities are in vain. Anything that does not lead to perfectional stage of Krishna consciousness should be avoided. One should be confident that in all circumstances, Krishna will protect him from all difficulties. There is no need of thinking how one should keep the body and soul together. Krishna will see to that. And one should always think himself helpless and should consider Krishna the basis for the progress of his life. As soon as one seriously engages himself in devotional service to the Lord in full Krishna consciousness, at once he becomes freed from all contamination of material nature. There are different processes of religion and purificatory processes by cultivation of knowledge, meditation in the mystic yoga system, etc. But one who surrenders into Krishna does not have to execute so many methods. That simple surrender unto Krishna will save him from unnecessarily wasting time. One can thus make all progress at once and be freed from all sinful reactions. One should be attracted by the beautiful form of Krishna. His name is Krishna because he's all attractive. One who becomes attracted by the beautiful, all-powerful, omnipotent vision of Krishna is fortunate. There are different kinds of transcendentalists. Some of them are attached to the impersonal Brahman vision. Some of them are attached to the super soul feature, but one who's attached to the personal feature of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And above all, one who is attracted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Krishna himself is the most perfect transcendentalist. In other words, devotional service to Krishna in full consciousness is the most confidential part of knowledge. And this is the essence of whole Bhagavad Gita. Karma yogis, empiric philosophers, mystics, devotees are all called transcendentalists, but one who is a pure devotee is the best of all. The particular words used here are ma suchaha, do not fear, do not hesitate, do not worry, are very significant. One may be perplexed as to how one can give up all kind of religious forms and simply surrender unto Krishna, but such worry is useless. Okay, so we ended up here. We ended up on a 66th shloka. Tomorrow we will be finishing the whole chapter, and tomorrow will be the last class for Bhagavad Gita, and after this the Bhagavad Gita is over. And then we have the same time slot. We are lagging in Tripura Rahasya, so I think I'm going to put Tripura Rahasya in the same time slot. If we finish this tomorrow, then Saturday we have one class, so we will do Tripura Rahasya because we are lagging there. I want to finish that also. Okay. So let me just see your comments and we'll end it up. Jai Shri Krishna to all of you. Radhe Radhe Hari Bol. Can Guru Droh actually occur? If you get really, you will understand in your heart, let me tell you. Guru Droh, you will understand in your heart. But yes, if there is a truthful Guru, he has done everything to you. Really sincerely. Bhagwan knows. Okay. And then you go and cheating that Guru. Then your heart will say it. That will happen. You will have to suffer. Okay. But if Guru just keeps playing on with your mind and then you leave him, no, you will come to know after some time, and you have strongly are holding Bhagwan's feet. I mean, this statement which Bhagwan made, do not fear. Do not fear. If you were in a relationship, in a guru-disciple relationship, where after some time you realize that you were exploited, or this thing should not have happened, then you must come out of that guilt, fear, hold on to Bhagwan strongly, and let Bhagwan take care of that. Nothing will happen. God will protect you always. But yes, if there are sincere gurus, there are people who cheat sincere gurus also. So that kind of cheating, definitely your karmas are not going to leave you. It is not about guru draw or anything. Let me explain you. What Gita explains very logically, he says, your karmas, you are going to eat the fruit. So be careful about your karmas. If you get good people, under any circumstances, do not do that. And if your karmas are very strong, good karmas, if you have good karmas, even if you get caught in this kind of circle where you get wrong gurus, nature will make all arrangements to take you away from that, from that relationship. That relationship will not go ahead. It will break. So it happens. Okay. So if the devotee is steadfast and self-controlled, the devotee need not go to any, boastful godmen. The boastful gurus certainly pressurize the people, but as per Parshuram Kalpasutra, Parishishta Guru Lakshanam need to be read. Yes. In Sri Vidya, that is why Guru Lakshana is, before giving the Diksha also, the Guru tells the Shishya should know Guru Lakshanam. Not only Parshuram Kalpasutra, everywhere. You should know. I always say, do not surrender so easily. Oh, this person, that person, do not surrender. Test the Guru. But what is happening in today's world, people approach the Guru only for their selfish desires. If somebody says this Guru will fulfill your desire, you will just approach that Guru and you want to be like that. Nobody is going to the Guru for real knowledge. So in that case, when you have gone with that desire for such a person, they have been talking to Murti. Murti is not giving any jawab, any reply. They have been asking things from the Murtis, and Murtis is not giving any reply. So then somebody else says, oh, go to this Guru, and this Guru will keep his hand on you and you will get it. So then they just shift their all their faith from that Murti to the living Murti. And yes, and then they do everything. Why? This is only, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. This is that kind of business. So in this relationship, this thing is going to be there. There will be the cheater and there will be the cheated. But once you're going for knowledge, then then you will definitely come across real people, real saints, and fake saints also will come, but then you will not be judgmental. You'll come out of it because you will not be able to. The system is like that. I have seen all sorts of gurus, as I tell you, but I found good ones also. Namajya wants to talk something. One second, Namajya. Okay, let me just read this and then you can talk. Incidentally, I was going through, Parshuram Kalpasutra. Shloka 58, applied in my life at all times, even on the face of enemy or in peace. By being on duty, no other worship is required except doing duty, and that too by keeping in consciousness, your consciousness in Godhead, forgetting everything except the alertness, conscious to do the duty. Yes, this is how it has to be. Perfect. In fact, I find myself lucky in addition to my revered His Holiness Guruji and his successors after meeting you here. Wonderful. Jai Ho. All right, Namaja, you want to talk, right? You can unmute. Well, let me see if we can unmute. I'll change the...
Okay. I just want to make a mention this.
Yeah.
You know me, and not many people know me, but you know that I was searching for like long time for a guru. And I don't want to say names because I don't want to make any announcement, but I went to an institution where I thought it was going to be the amazing thing. And the only thing was rules, and never teachings. So it's funny, I know you for a long time, and then I never thought you can be my guru. I mean, hello. You've been going, teaching me, going to travel everywhere with you and listening to you, learning. And then my last trip with you, the person that I thought was my guru, it was not giving me permission to go to India. So I was feeling like I was cheating the whole system. And I was feeling guilty. I feel, horrible, emotionally horrible. And then finally, I remember we went to this amazing guru that you was looking for. And I realized, okay, wait a second. What are you talking about, Guru? And I saw you. And I said, can you be my guru? And you was looking at me like, it take you 8 years to ask me? So I just mentioned this because sometimes you have it in front of your face and you don't realize.
Yeah.
And just because you were my friend, I thought maybe you were my friend, my sister, but I never see you as my guru. And that's it. I just want to make that comment. Okay, so look, analyze, and maybe you have it right in front of your eyes and you were wasting your time for 8 years like me. Or I don't know how many. I don't know. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Namaz. Yeah. You know my nature. I always say this is a very open relationship between guru and the disciple. You should take your time, and it's a matter of heart. Guru and disciple relationship. It is not that I have to tell you, you become my disciple. I don't want. First of all, I am very clear. I don't want disciples. I don't want followers, because taking disciples and taking followers means I'm increasing my responsibility and my work goes on. So I'm like, okay. But yes, if somebody sincerely asks, then you definitely guide them. So that is how the guru and shishya has to be. There has to be no pressure from any side. And if sometimes I've got disciples, they became disciples because I don't know, for whatever they became, whatever the reason they became. But then again, I understand they need to explore. So I never stop. Go explore. Where I saw that in my father also. He allowed his people, his students to go and explore. Go explore, no problem. But then don't get lost, because in the process of exploration, yes, you will find. I have seen some of my old friends getting lost. So I always try to warn that be very careful in this path. You will find all the kind of people, but then you should have strong base of Gita. Never forget that Bhagwan Shri Krishna is there and he's always going to protect you. Okay, so keep chanting Bhagwan's name, and God is your final guru. We are all of us who are human gurus, we are just a bridge to help you connect with God. That's all. All right. Vishwasji is writing, thank you, Ma, very much for your great clarity on the subject, especially on the 18th chapter of last few shlokas. Ma, I suggest we have Guru Gita discourse with new thoughts. Okay, sure, we will have Guru Gita discourse. Definitely. Guru Gita is my favorite thing. Yes, definitely we can have, and that will be a very small thing. Yeah. Let me finish my Tripura Rahasya. And if I have time here, if I don't go to India, if I have time, then I will. But otherwise, after the break, we will do. Guru Gita is a small one. Definitely, I'll start. I think I should do it for a lot of people. It will be really helpful. Yes, I will do it. All right. Jayanti writes, I am really fortunate, Ma, to have found you. Koti Pranam. You're welcome. Thank you. But Guru Gita, also, Vishwasji, I have already made all the lectures. I hope you have heard them. If you want, it is there in the video. It's in the playlist. Okay. Vishwasji, yes, sure. I think you are from Indore side, right, Vishwasji? Where are you from, if I'm not mistaken? Bhopal. Okay, so that area I'm coming, Indore for sure. So we'll see how it works out. Okay. All right then. So we'll end up the class here now, and then we will meet tomorrow with some very beautiful shlokas. Very, very beautiful shlokas. All right. Jai Shri Krishna. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Ma.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ma.